So last week I asked y'all a question. Who are you becoming? And I told you that if you didn't like your answer, we'll talk about it today. So let's have a pretty conversation. So if we're being honest, a lot of us already know exactly why we don't like our answer. You just don't know what the fuck to do about it. And that's okay. Because nobody ever teaches us how we become people we don't recognize. Because it doesn't happen overnight. It happens so quietly that you don't even realize it's happening. Life starts lifing. You get hurt. You get disappointed. You get betrayed. Just let the fuck down. And before you know it, you're not making decisions from your heart anymore. You're making decisions from your wounds. Because after a while, you stop questioning it. You just tell yourself, this is who I am now. But is it? Or is this just a version of you that learned how to survive? Because those are two completely different women. I had to ask myself, how much of me is actually me? And how much of me is just a response to everything that I've been through? Because maybe I don't struggle to trust because that's just who I am. Maybe I struggle to trust because trust was broken. Maybe I settle because disappointment taught me not to expect more. And maybe I keep abandoning myself because somewhere along the way, I learned everybody else's needs mattered more than mine. Either way, none of that came out of nowhere. I learned that shit. And once I realized that, I had another decision to make. I could keep letting that version of me run my life, or I could thank her for protecting me, but admit that she can't keep making decisions for me anymore. Because if she does, I'll spend the rest of my life reacting to my past instead of creating my future. So, what do you do if you don't like who you're becoming? The answer is simple, babe. Stop running. Sit with it. As uncomfortable as it is, you just gotta sit and feel that shit. Because if you keep trying to outrun the version of yourself that you don't like, you will never understand why she showed up in the first place. And if you don't understand her, you will keep recreating her. With the different people, different places, with the same patterns. Maybe the version of you that you're so desperate to get rid of is actually pointing you towards the part of yourself that needs the most healing. And once you understand that, you then have a choice. You can keep letting your pain introduce you to the world, or you can reintroduce yourself, and not the version of you that was built from survival, but the version of you that's built from intention. And here's where I don't want you to get it twisted. Knowing all of this doesn't mean you'll change. Self-awareness is the easy part. Now, choosing differently, especially when your old patterns feel safe, that's the hard part. I gotta be real. And usually that's because of the price that change costs. But we'll have that conversation next Friday. Thank you for tuning in to Pretty Conversations, where we blend our makeup and our mindset. Till next time, I love y'all. Bye.